Let me just drink this glass of water.
Okay. You know what? While he does that, hello everyone. Welcome to the C.W.H podcast. My name is Anas. Online, I go by lottanascalliber. I'm a streamer, YouTuber, editor, a lot of things in between, a lot more things to come. I'm going to pass it off to one of my co-hosts here. And go on.
Yeah, me? Okay, yeah, I'll go. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Hi. Hi. My name's Faris. Online, I go by Reese the Puffman. I didn't go to college. Important point.
It's really
important point number 2.
Yeah.
I produce music.
Mm-hmm.
It's about all I do with my time.
Yep.
Next, please.
And then we have our third and final co-host. Why don't you go say hi?
Hi, my name is Ali. I'm from Iran. My most important point is that I'm going to college, unlike him. And I'm running away from a civil war. So, that's what's happening.
Yeah, I love how the college is a talking point, not the Civil War. That's the real marker.
That's
right?
besides the point.
And
I don't know. College is more important.
yeah. Also,
Think
he
about it,
mentioned he was from Iran. I'm from Malaysia. Faris was also in Malaysia at a point, but he is now in America. So we have 3 different worldviews, which is kind of cool, I think. And I'll make some great talking points later on in the future. But this is the first episode, and it took us a while to get here in terms of just setup, but I'm glad we're finally doing it. We literally only planned this in the span of like 2 weeks, I'd say, right? About there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But
Yeah.
the fact that we're doing it is the better part. I think we just have to start. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, it was in our minds before. Like me and Faris wanted to do this for a long time.
Yeah, it just
never really happened.
I just accelerated the process.
And then you came in and it accelerated.
Yeah, no, because I've also had the idea of a podcast in my mind for multiple years and to try and do it with like multiple friend groups. It's just that it never like kind of clicked, and I figured like this is a great place to start, considering like our worldviews, what we kind of do, and I think we're all pretty set on doing it in the first place. So yeah, we have the equipment too.
Yes.
So
Dude, I swear I talked to like 20 different people about starting a podcast, but like, it's just no one wants to put the initial work in, because I think it's the hardest part.
it's always the first step. It's always like the first.
True.
Like everyone can plan a podcast, but actually doing it for some reason is like the harder part for a lot of people. And I think like everyone can agree that like podcasts these days, they are kind of they're a little oversaturated in the market. I'm not gonna lie. It is definitely like kicked up a notch ever since the pandemic, because everyone had nothing to do and everyone was at home, stuck with their friends and everything, family, whatever, and whatever they wanted to do with their hobbies, they turned into podcasts. And it's so easy, right? It's like people could set up a podcast room and everything. They have like all their guests come in, especially for those countries that didn't have such a hard lockdown in comparison to like us over here in Malaysia. But it is just as simple as like what we're doing right now. It's just get your friends, get some talking points, start recording on Discord, and you're good to go.
I got a couple of things like to say about like, Malaysia's lockdown, dude. It's fucking insane.
We went through, damn, I can't even remember. What was it? We went through 2.5, bordering 3 years now of just complete isolation. We had two. What was it called? It was called MCO. Yeah, we had two full MCOs that I remember of, but like I remember there's just like pockets of it that were still like technically hard lockdown, and like I swear half of that was like the government's doing, and the other half of that is like the people's like fear and their own doing, right? It's just like it's like I know like MCO is getting lifted, but like I really don't want to go out. I don't want to get infected. And it was like
currently.
It's a hard lockdown, like based on what like the government told us to do. And then even when it got lifted just slightly, the people still continued, 'cause it's just out of fear. which is it was rough. It was a rough time.
Oh man.
Still a rough time.
Yeah, I mean, right now, government pretty much allows you to go anywhere and do whatever you want. I think the only thing is like indoors, you're supposed to wear a mask still. But other than that, people are still staying at home. Everyone is still very much terrified.
Correct. Yeah, you're required to wear like masks on public transportation, which is fine. Anyways, I think we were doing that way before the pandemic even started. To be honest, that's just like the norm.
Most of us weren't.
No, I mean that's just like the norm in terms of like Asian countries.
Asian cultures.
Like Asian culture, they would just wear the mask, especially if like you were sick. Like if you were sick or like you were prone to getting sick in spaces like that, you would wear a mask anyways. So it was culture's already there. Doesn't really.
True.
Doesn't
it just
really-
got like very much amplified because of COVID.
Yeah.
People are going crazy still.
But do you think that so places are like less crowded and stuff because everyone's staying at home, right, and stuff? But like, do you think that's because people are still scared, or because people have realized they can live without doing that, because that's
I personally think it's mostly that people are scared, because a lot of the more like Chinese or Malaysian friends that I know, they rather not go out, and every time they go out they always ask, hey, can you, like, they still ask to people to take the COVID test every time they want to meet up.
Oh.
Yeah, they're still very much scared.
Okay.
That's
So-
crazy.
But it's weird because like there's a huge amount of them who are scared like that, but whenever you go to the malls, the bigger malls especially, it's still crowded as it was before. I think it's just like other places that are not getting attraction, but malls, because in Malaysia malls have all the essentials that you need for you to just live. So those places will be crowded anyway.
One of Malaysia's like primary business in the cities is malls. There's like a mall here every 5 kilometers, to be honest.
Every mall has a fucking supermarket inside it too.
Exactly. Actually, like 3 sometimes, right? Depending on the mall, like depending on the mall, you can you can get like a Justco in there. You can get like an Aeon. Well, those are the same thing. You can get like a Justco, Aeon, or cold storage even.
You can get Tesco.
Tesco.
Tesco. Tesco is usually
It's not called Tesco anymore, right? It's called something else.
Wait, you're telling me Tesco got bought over?
Yeah, it's called something else. Lotus. It's called Lotus now, right?
Oh yes, it is called Lotus. Yeah,
Yes, it's
you're
called
right.
Lotus now,
You're
yeah.
right.
Why
I think-
Lotus?
I think everyone's still gonna call it Tesco. You know, it's like
Who
until
on
we
this
don't
God's
until we don't see Tesco like the place. You know, it's probably just gonna still be called Tesco. Like, do y'all remember? Do y'all remember when what was that mall called? Do y'all remember when Carrefour existed? Carrefour.
Oh, dude.
Do you
That's
remember
old
that
school.
mall? It's an old school mall, Ali. So how you spelled it is Carrefour, I believe. And it's essentially like certain places would have this this mall, right? And it's essentially just like a mall branch. It's just a building.
Oh,
It's just the building was called Carrefour. It was just like the people that owned like the mall in that sense, you know? It's like how like Sunway kind of owns like a lot of like areas in that sense and a lot of buildings, but it's kind of like under that premise. But Carrefour only did it for malls,
interesting.
as far as I'm concerned, because
like a legend.
it is like a legend. It's crazy. I was going through like the only reason why I was like reminded of it is I was going through a TikTok and it was just like, oh, you never had like a proper Malaysian childhood if you've never seen these things. And one of the slides was Carrefour, and I was like, oh my god, I remember going there. With my mom when she wanted to do some groceries or buy like something, and I would like spend time in the arcade and I played like Time Crisis 2.
I swear that's what I did too. That was a big thing. The arcades were kind of fire.
I never went to arcades. I don't know. My childhood
Man,
did not.
what are
It didn't have
you're
arcades.
missing out. What do you
Animal
mean
Kingdom?
you've never been to art?
Oh wait, no, it's Animal
No,
Kaiser.
Animal
What am I on?
Kaiser.
That's
Oh
what it
my
was.
god, Animal Kaiser. Time Crisis. Wangan's still
I didn't
going.
get any of that.
That
Man,
fucking
none of
racing
them.
though. Fuck.
Ali, I need to bring you to an arcade. Oh my god.
We'll go to
That's
Japan.
crazy.
We have to go to Japan, guys.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to go to Japan's arcade.
The arcade
That-
culture
that's
there
it.
is fucking insanity.
So I've heard.
Yeah, we need
So
to
I've
go.
heard. You know, we're
Yeah.
10 minutes in, and I totally forgot to mention this at the start. This podcast would technically be part of like our New Year's resolution. So happy New Year's to everyone that's listening. I got
Alright,
Year's.
Happy New Year's.
I got completely blasted in New Year's. I don't know how you guys survived your New Year's or what went on
Bro.
with you guys.
Listen, I did not do anything too exciting this year. I think I'm getting old. I'm still young,
Brother-
but
I
I feel
think
like
I'm-
old. I'm doing
Brother
old shit.
mans, you're 21 and you're engaged. You're technically the oldest here at that
Fuck.
point.
Fuck.
And I'm not joking to anyone that's listening. Faris here, yes, he is 21 and he is engaged. That is
Oh,
Yes,
not,
he is absolutely stupid.
he is absolutely dumb.
I would not recommend. Don't do this to
Well,
yourself.
when you look at my stats, I think it's a pretty good situation to be in, considering I haven't gone to college. I think it's a great stance to be in, actually.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, she's gonna be like in the medical system, so you know, if you can't do anything,
If
she
I
can at
can-
least
yeah.
support you. Yeah.
If I really
understand.
wanted to be a bum, I can. I have that option now.
But you're not.
Think about it.
But you're not a bum.
Don't say that.
You're
Don't
not.
say that.
I mean, as of right now,
Not
you're not
yet.
a bum. You're not,
Not
a
yet.
bum. Look, you're not a bum.
We're working
don't
towards it.
know
We're
me
working
like
towards
that.
it, boys.
Uh huh. Look, if you were a bum, you'd be out in the streets in LA in a tent.
Hey, I might move to Cali.
Oh, tent.
I'm getting closer and
That's
closer.
luxurious.
Yeah, okay, you're kind of getting close if you do move to Cali. That's true. But at least you won't be in a tent.
Fingers crossed I moved to Cali, dude. Missouri's
Yeah,
boring.
honestly.
Dude, like
St. Louis is boring.
St. Louis City isn't bad. It's also really dangerous, but that's besides the point. It used to be one of the most. It's on the top 10, I think, of U.S. dangerous cities, but I think it just got knocked off, which is kind of big. Big ups, St. Louis, but also I have a lot of bad habits. You know how I was talking about doing old man things? Like on New Year's, I fucking popped open a bottle of wine. Didn't even finish it, right? Still there. I went to sleep pretty early, and then that's it. But this town I'm in, it's just a bunch of old people and young kids that are growing up in the cul-de-sac. And, it's just not for me, because growing up in
Yeah, all
Kale,
that energy that you
fast
have.
life.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
What are you
actually.
trying to say?
Yeah, all that energy that put you to sleep so early in the night on New Year's Eve. This is not your city.
He's like, these goddamn kids. He goes to sleep, wakes up the next year. These goddamn New Year kids.
God damn it, dude. I
think I had the most boring New Year Eve.
Really?
no
I
way it
did
was more boring than mine.
absolutely no. I did absolutely nothing. I stayed up the entire night. I sat on my balcony and I just like smoked and looked outside.
Honestly,
That was it.
in comparison to a lot of New Year's that I've had so far, usually I would just go out and I just watch fireworks. So this is the first time that I actually got to partake in some more lively activities in that sense,
Okay.
which is
Sorry to cut you off.
great.
But
No.
before we continue, when I say smoked, I am not talking about weed. I did not smoke weed. It
Oh yes,
was
you mean
normal.
cigarettes.
For legal
Okay.
reasons,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Cigarettes.
weed, guys.
It wasn't weed.
Yes,
no,
they were.
no, it's cigarettes. Yeah,
Yeah.
cigarettes
Yes.
and your vape, right?
Yeah.
What flavor are you on?
Weed.
Right now, fucking. Right now, it's air. It doesn't have
You
a pod.
don't got a
'cause
pod?
I haven't. No,
For legal reasons, it's air.
Brokey.
not
bro.
in here, man.
Oh man.
Oh damn. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You at least have a nice view on your balcony, if anything, to ponder. New Year's.
That is true.
Yeah, dude,
So-
his house is real nice. Have you
It's
been?
nice. Yeah. I've been there.
It's fire, dude.
It's great.
Windows
I
are
love
fire.
the balcony. I love sitting out there. It's like if I had a balcony like that, I would spend most of my time there. I think because just being able to like get your peace of mind and listening to the city, listening to city life, like how the world kind of just sounds alive and its music is around you in that sense. It's really serene. Gets you to think
You
about
hear
stuff.
that, guys? Donate to us on our Patreon, and you get to see my balcony.
You know that
$50 monthly, US dollars.
You know, I imagine we could actually do something like that. I could like bring my
Maybe,
camera.
who
I could bring
knows?
my camera over and I just do like some portrait shots and everything. It's like, hey, you guys want a print of this? We'll sell it for like $20.
Just sneak in one of my feet pictures in there. I'm just like,
Yeah,
whoops.
yeah. This is for the extra tier, by the way. This is for the extra tier. You're paying $50 monthly or in Patreon. I don't know why you do that, but you're paying $50 monthly. Yeah, you get these feet pics. But it's like, but your feet pics are like all like references. They're essentially like the Stan Lee of like photographs at that point. Is this
Oh,
gonna make
dude.
like small little references in every single shot that I take?
What if we took Polaroids and we sent them out to each Patreon?
Now
Person.
you're
Oh my
now you're
God,
talking
damn.
now you're talking like a proper e-girl. I
What
love
if-
it.
What if we took those pictures and printed them on vinyls and gave empty vinyls with no sound to the patrons with the picture on it?
Just for the aesthetic? Just for the aesthetic.
What if the vinyls did play a sound, but the sound is just us discussing this?
It's the
Like,
podcast that
yeah,
is
yeah.
fun.
It's like like just the concept of like
pod-
how it
yeah.
happens. that's the whole
Bro,
thing.
Christ.
Or we just have the podcast on vinyl. That would be
Oh
hilarious.
my god,
That's messed up.
dude! Vinyls blow my mind, to be honest. I try it. Like I understand how they work. I really do, and I've seen the science behind them. But it's still mind blowing. You know, it's like, that's so cool. How do you do that?
You're telling me you find vinyls more impressive than CDs?
They're equally as cool.
CDs, no. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that CDs are more impressive, but what's crazy is that the vinyls can work analog, you know?
Yeah.
Without, like, you can get on one of those hand crank freaking my bad, guys. I didn't mean to swear there.
You swore like 4 or 5 times prior.
Yeah, no, I thought of, thinking back on it, that's my bad.
Yeah. Huh?
Anyways, you
Okay.
know those old vinyl players that you have to crank up?
Yeah.
It's crazy how they can generate the like sound. I don't know who thought of it, and whoever thought of it is freaking insane. Man, my bad, guys.
In conclusion, we live in a world of fucking geniuses, and that's his point.
No
we got
freaking way.
No freaking way.
Glad we got that out of the way. So if you're wondering why we're trying to avoid swearing as much as we can,
Which we haven't done a good job of.
yeah,
My
we
bad.
haven't really done a good job, and I'm sure we'll get it sorted anyways. But regardless, the reason why we're swearing a bit less is because that YouTube has some new policies in terms of how they are dealing with ad revenue, and of course we've seen this initially with like the adpocalypse and everything, and it went down pretty bad. There's a lot of restrictions, and there's still a lot of restrictions to this day, but everyone's been kind of living pretty comfortably on YouTube in terms of how they do their content. But as of late, it's been kind of crazy. I've been seeing tweets of people posting like videos of like, say maybe like 16-minute like Apex gameplay or something, and they swear once, and their whole video gets demonetized.
Really? The whole video
Yeah,
gets
the
like,
whole
whoa,
video.
man.
And it's like they're getting really, really strict about it. So I'm not too sure.
I'm assuming it also gets age restricted, right?
Age restriction is going to be like a whole nother thing, because the moment your video gets demonetized in that fashion, usually it tends to not shadow ban or like blacklist the video, but your video will definitely do like, it'll get like less traction. There was a I think there's a recent case. I can't remember who. I think Pyrocynical was talking about this. Like one content creator did like, I think a 2-hour long video essay about something, I believe it's a video essay. Sorry, I don't have the proper facts, but I know it was like a 2-hour video of something. And the guy said, or the guy had the word like shit in it. And in this 2-hour video, that one point got sectioned out. And I don't think he even said it himself. I think it was like a sample. It was like a sample from a different clip, right? Used as reference.
Yeah.
And that still got that whole video tanked in terms of monetization or traction.
It's hard, dude. I feel like one of the big things about when you know how you said it doesn't get blacklisted or shadow banned or anything, but suddenly the video doesn't perform as well as it could have.
Yeah.
Is because it loses that starting momentum.
Yeah.
That freaking all right. That first day, that first 24 hours of like catching up, so like your momentum's all like bung. I'm trying to swear
It's
a
trashed.
lot today.
It's trash. It's
I'm
just
trying
trash.
to
Your
swear
momentum.
a lot today.
Yeah, he's trying. This is the
Oh,
test.
man.
This is the test. Like, this is an absolute test for us. So yeah, no, I agree. Like, the video would just get trashed. You need that momentum, especially if you're gonna play within YouTube's domain with like the algorithms and stuff. Momentum and how consistent you can be. Like, momentum and consistency, I think, are like the keywords for YouTube these days.
Dude, those are the key word for like that's the
For
keywords
for
for
anything,
all
really.
social media, music, everything like nowadays, especially TikTok, dude. Especially TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok has been interesting. I've been really getting to TikTok over the past like how many months at this point. And I can only really blame one person, so if she's listening, screw you. And
Michelle
thank you.
Obama.
So, but no, like, I've been getting to TikTok quite a lot, and yeah, you can really see how the algorithm works in that sense, because it is interesting. You can upload like your first 2 TikToks and it won't get as many views, but suddenly you jump, maybe you kind of get the idea and you jump on something a little bit more trendy, and your 3rd or 4th TikTok will get a lot of views just out of nowhere because it's getting pushed out to the algorithm. And then this is how they catch you, right? Once those TikToks do really good, it's now kind of like halfway into like your skill as a content creator to be consistent and to kind of lock down the kind of content that you're making to attract people to stay and of course follow your TikTok, right? The other half is the business side of TikTok, where the numbers won't be as high, or it might not even peak to the point of your last like 2 TikToks, and they will start promoting the promotion feature for TikTok. They're like, hey, you can spend like, what is it, a few bucks for 1 day or 2 days to just push out your TikTok onto the algorithm and people's like For You page, which is, it's smart. Like, business wise, it's pretty smart because they're not really asking you for a lot either. But it is very what's the word that I could use here? It's not snaky. Ali,
It's definitely sneaky.
it's snake. I don't know. Ali, you have a
And
better.
it's-
You should have a word for this.
Light snake.
Light snake.
Light
Light snake. It's like it depends on what happens after the fact to define whether it was snaky or not. Because if it works out, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a consistent situation with every new account that you don't do well, you do really well, and then it just goes down and you get promoted with this whole thing, then it's sneaky.
Because technically it becomes a fair business deal, right? And you can't really call
Yeah.
that snaky. I guess just how
I mean, the sneaky part isn't the fact that they're asking you to promote your post. The sneaky part is when they're asking you to promote your post.
sure, yeah, okay.
They give you a taste of fame, right?
And
they
then-
give you a taste of look
it's
at all of
correct,
this,
correct,
and then
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
oh, you're not getting it anymore? Here, let me do it for you again.
You're right.
Just pay me a little.
You're correct.
But I don't think that's. I mean, don't you think a lot of mobile games are kind of like that though? Once you get your foot into the puddle, it tries to drag you in by telling you to pay money to speed up shit. especially Clash of
I mean,
Clans.
Oh yeah, no.
yeah.
A lot of mobile
Yeah.
games, like especially the ones that launched like 5 years ago, definitely still running those systems. These days, the very popular mobile games, like the ones that already know they can make money off like the market, they don't have to try so hard. That's the thing. Even the gacha games these days, they're not as crazily money hungry as you think they are. It's just that, like, I'm not defending them, but I'm just like saying the way they've kind of moved on from a system that's very intrusive, where they would ask you to like, oh, top up, or like, oh, if you want to do this you can rush it. It's like, oh, like, because there's still a time-based like system for a lot of these games, even for non-mobile games, right? Like, look at Warframe. Warframe is a lot of time-based stuff. You can rush stuff with like the plant and everything, and it's like it'll take you 3 days to make like a Warframe chassis or something, and it'll take you sometimes more than those 3 days just to even obtain said Warframe chassis in the first place due to RNG, right? So, but like these days, mobile games, I think they're very upfront in terms of how like their monetization schemes work. They're not really sneaky anymore.
There's two things I want to say about this. One is that compared to 5 years ago, a lot more people have access to mobiles and can actually play these mobile games.
Sure.
So, they feel less need to push the fact that the player needs to buy things, because they have more players now anyway, like a lot more.
Fair.
And second thing, that I just forgot what I want to say. So we're going to move on.
Damn.
Well,
Damn, alright.
Alright. But, okay, no, I do agree. Like, it's a lot more people.
If I remember, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot more people on mobile these days. Like, primary gaming market here in Asia is mobile gaming. As much as I hate that, as much as I hate that. Like, I don't. All right, listen up. Like, I don't hate the fact that people are getting into gaming in such a way. I don't care. If you get into gaming like this, if you get into gaming into any sort of way, it's great, right? Like, I got into gaming like playing a Wii and like a PSP, right? And like prior to that, I think I played like Pac-Man on my mom's laptop. So it's like, if you can find a way into gaming, good, and especially if you like it, right? But it's just that I feel like they can do so much more, and they're chasing the money, which again, business wise, it makes sense. That's your incentive. You have to chase the money, and if mobile is where it is, then that's where you go.
I just remembered my second point.
Okay, I'll finish up. That's where you go. And if you, I just feel like our market can still be tailored to PCs and consoles a little bit more than what it is now. Anyways, go on. What was your second point that you want to bring up?
Yeah, first of all, I agree with what you said, and I think it should be tailored a little bit more towards PC and console. And my second point is that the sneaky part from mobile games, it switched from you need to buy gems to speed up things, to now their advertisement styles. It's completely just wacky. They advertise their games, but it's not actually the game that you end up playing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yeah. No,
the
you're
puzzle
right, yeah.
games. The fuck puzzle
Yeah,
games.
like
the puzzle games, man.
They just make this like weird advertisement, and it's like, okay, you go here, you press this, you do that, you open the game, it's a goddamn RTS or something. It's completely different. It's not what you were advertised.
You know what's crazy about that is I would absolutely spend 20 hours of my day playing those games that they advertise. But they don't exist.
Exactly. Dude, some of these ads have amazing concepts for a show, for a comic, for the game that doesn't even exist, the game that they're marketing for. And it's like, why do this? Why do this? Why? Like, surely this is like illegal in some form, right? This is like not correct.
My God.
I don't understand it. I mean, it works because they get the clicks and they get all those people like interested in the game. Because like, oh, what if it's in there? And then they play for 5 minutes and then they're like, oh well, fuck this.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? But that's the thing. It's like, why fall? Why fall in that kind of market? Okay, surely the money is there. That's why they're doing it, right? That has to be. But
They're getting some gains.
But like, why? Like, just if they even had half the game they promote in some of these ads, people would stick around longer. People would fall into whatever crazy addictive cycles you get into some of these games. You know, like for me, Genshin, Destiny 2, Valorant. Like I'm gone. I'm so far gone in these games, right? But it's like they were advertised correctly. I know what I got from those games. And at the time, even Destiny in certain seasons, when like we're promised a lot of stuff and only half of it comes out, there's a lot of complaining, sure, but at least it's like still there in that sense, you know. At least there's. And I'm not gonna try and give the developers any leeway. I'm not gonna try and give Bungie any leeway in that sense, because it's like if you promise a lot of stuff, then it should be in there, and there's like no takebacks, you know. What's marketed should be in there, but they at least got a little bit better over time, where it's like at least half of it is in there. So it's like oh, man, we are these days in gaming. I swear we are reaching for good games. I mean, my God, like take a look around you and like try and remember like one AAA game in the past maybe like 5 years that actually
exclude Elden Ring.
Yeah, exclude Elden Ring and like exclude like God of War.
Exclude all of the Game of the Years, yeah.
Yeah, like exclude the Game of the Year, because like they know what they're doing, right? It's like exclude like God of War, Elden Ring, and like Last of Us. Even it's like look at a majority of like these AAA game companies, right? And they are falling into these cycles of releasing half-ass games, or releasing unfinished products or rushed out games, and the developers are getting crunched so hard.
Yeah, I mean, the perfect example of that is like No Man's Sky. It took them like 2 years to finish the game properly and give you what they promised.
Yeah, but No Man's Sky had an interesting tale in terms of how it's marketed, in terms of how its marketing was blown out of proportion. And that was on what's his name again? Sean.
I don't.
Oh God, what's his name? It's Sean something, but that's on that guy for not essentially lying, but for like over exaggerating what the game actually had.
Yeah, without
what
clarification.
They had. Correct, yeah. But I mean, these days, you want to talk about a comeback story. No Man's Sky is a hell of a fucking comeback story.
Oh yeah, I mean they fixed it. They fixed it good.
I've voted No Man's Sky to be, so every year the Steam Awards is out. Steam Awards is actually still currently going as of recording this. So go vote for your games. You get some free stickers and stuff. But for the past 2 years, I remember voting No Man's Sky for the Labor of Love award on Steam, because I think it fully deserves it.
Yeah, it took a while, but it's getting there. Or at least it got there already, actually.
It got way past there, honestly.
Yeah,
like they went so far beyond, and it was great. I think I remember listening to like an interview or like a game documentary where Sean was just like, hey, okay, the game launched badly, and yes, we did lie in that sense, and we did not live up to the game's promises. Now I'm gonna take the dev team. We're gonna do this heads down and just focus on the game. And they did. Like they were silent for a really long time. I remember they were silent for a while, and like no one really got any word from them. And then slowly these updates started coming out for the game, and they were huge. And then they would start to talk back to the community more, and then the game got its traction, which is great. Like I think No Man's Sky is like the pinnacle story for gaming in terms of like how to really come back from that low point with your company. I mean, it's crazy to think that EA is not even the biggest threat in AAA gaming these days. I think Ubisoft has that now.
It does feel like it. Ubisoft. No, yeah. Ubisoft has been doing really well lately.
Not as well as they can, because did you hear about like the online stuff for Ubisoft?
I missed.
Okay.
I missed it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is pretty big over the past 2 months. Essentially, this whole story started out with like, oh yeah, some online services for Assassin's Creed is gonna go offline, right? Basically the multiplayer, and everyone's like, that's fine. Not many people played the multiplayer for Assassin's Creed anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it's okay, right? And then they found out, and I think Ubisoft themselves even like said this themselves, like, okay, so because of how the DLCs work in these in the games, how it's like tied to online services, you're not gonna have the DLCs either, even though you bought them.
Man, what?
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Oh.
So and that went beyond the Assassin's Creed like franchise, by the way. You, as of right, or me, as of right now, people that played one of the best sandbox games to ever exist back then, Far Cry 3, you can't play Far Cry 3 online anymore. You can't play the multiplayer, which is still pretty fun. But you can't do the co-op campaign anymore. The co-op campaign for Far Cry 3 was a whole separate storyline, right? It took place like months before Jason even landed onto the island, and you played out his story. You play 4-player co-op, and it's so bad. Racevic has a video on this about the co-op campaign. It was either Racevic or White Light. I don't know. Those two always sound the same to me. But there's a video out there from either one of those two, and they go in depth with this campaign that you cannot play anymore. In fact, all the footage that he pulled for that campaign was from like 2016, I think, which is crazy. So yeah, I can't play the Far Cry 3 co-op campaign, even though I bought Far Cry 3 in full. For Assassin's Creed, I think there's some DLCs that I can't even play anymore. And there's like a lot of like outfits and extra stuff that I don't have access to anymore, I think. And I think with that as well, they also might have like took off Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 off the stores. I believe that was a thing that they mentioned, which is, again, what? Like what?
They took the regular versions off the store?
I think they just straight up took Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 off the stores. Like, you can't even get them. I think 3 is coming.
I suspect a remaster set's coming then.
It might be. That's what people were hinting to. Like, maybe it's a remaster. Actually, you know?
Also, when companies do mess up things like this, usually there will be a class action suit that follows up, right? And the companies will end up paying back the money to people one way or another. But I'm not sure if this is going to actually happen.
I don't know if
Ubisoft.
It depends, right?
But it should, because like legally you should be entitled to the content that you paid for, and now they just took it away.
Unless it's like within contract, like in the EULA or something, or like within contract or something, and it limits the amount of like the years, right?
Maybe, but
maybe it's hidden.
But you
with,
have
like,
to
the years.
But either way, we'll see if a class action suit does happen, then there might possibly be a chance for you to get your money back, or a percentage or something of your money, or they give you something if it happens. If it doesn't, then it's gone.
Yeah,
nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's really it's really dumb.
It's like
it's a shame.
Like Apple had some problems like this as well before. Like I think 2000 something, I don't remember. Their keyboards were messed up and you couldn't fix them. And every time you fix them, in a couple of months they would get like broken again and they wouldn't work. So there was a class action lawsuit against them, and everyone who owned a laptop, a MacBook, in that like time period is entitled to like $400.
Damn.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That goes hard.
That does go hard, but I think.
But similar thing can happen with like the Ubisoft situation. Is the point?
Yeah, because they're a big enough company that should have gotten all the track. Again, I don't know. I really haven't kept up too much in terms of that story. I just know that like I can't play certain things anymore, or I can't experience certain things.
Yeah, we're close to the 40-minute mark.
We have reached 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at us, guys.
Do we want to talk about the Elon Musk situation before we end?
Oh God!
I think we can just stretch this out to an hour, and I think that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk about the Elon Musk
Where
situation.
do we even
God.
start?
All right, I have a
Wow.
summary for y'all. All right, let's listen
us
to
with the
this
summary.
tale.
Hit us with the summary.
So it all started when Elon Musk reached 9.1% in shares. Twitter was like, "Hey, join the directors. You talk a lot about how you want to change Twitter. Let's talk about this and fix this or change it." He goes there, they start talking, and then he was like, "You know what? This is too slow. I don't want it. I'm just gonna buy the whole thing." So he froze out the 43 billion, which changes into 44 later on. And then some time goes on because he wanted some information about how many bots there are in Twitter, and he wasn't getting it. So he was like, okay, maybe I don't want to do this deal. Maybe they're hiding stuff from me. But then Twitter gave it to him, or some information. I don't know exactly how much of the information they gave to him. And then he looked at it and was like, okay, I'm paying a lot more for what this company is worth. I don't want to do this. And Twitter sued him because they already gave him information. That's insider information, pretty much. And then Elon was like, no, I'm going to sue back. He sued back, and then there was a whistleblower in the company who, I don't know, he was talking about some, like, how they do their security or something. That was pretty much like on the side of Elon. Like Elon jumped on the whistleblower, and he was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to cancel this, like, trade. It's not going to happen. And then a couple of months after, just out of nowhere, Elon was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get this trade. A little bit at time goes by, and Elon talks about it in one of his meetings, and he's like, oh, well, the value of Twitter is actually much higher than what I'm paying it for. Like, if we can make it to what he envisions it, the value is much higher. So he didn't mind buying it. He buys Twitter, and then he immediately kicks all those people out, right?
Right, yes. The whole staff exodus was a thing.
Yes, and in my opinion, that part is fine. We'll get into it because all those people also sued him in the, the whole suing situation was happening. They were also part of it. So it makes sense to kick out the people who were against you. But then after that, he started making changes too fast and things didn't really work out. And he told all the workers, it was like, listen, I need you guys to work really hard and like long hours. So either you do it, you agree to it, I'm going to give you a timeline. You either agree to this, or if you don't, you leave the company and we'll give you your like 3 months severance pay or something. And at about 75 more like % of people left as well. And the people who are there, they have kind of like visa problems. They can't leave because if they leave, they kind of get out of the country. They get kicked out. So they're stuck in Twitter. Yeah.
So everyone took their paid leave in that sense. Right.
Yep, and that's kind of what happened. And right now, Elon is in another, like someone sued him for Twitter. I think it's for some privacy laws, because Twitter had some problems before with privacy, and they were under a certain agreement with the government or something. I'm not sure with what institution exactly, but they were under an agreement, and now they're being sued for that, I believe. Again, I'm not completely sure on this part. But all I know about it is that Elon is bitching about it and saying that the judges are influenced by the media too much and he wants to move it to Texas. So that's all I know.
Oh my God.
You know what? We have an American here. Tell us why that is. Why
Dude,
Texas?
Texas is the land of the free. That's why. I like specifics. It's because they're Texas is a lot more open, like lawfully for businesses. It's easier to navigate and make moves like the way Elon does in Texas. It's like,
but his moves. Place.
I used to believe in Elon quite a lot. I thought he was like the hope, bring us to space. Then he bought Twitter. I was sort of like,
oh, that's where you
weird choice.
That's where you drew the line.
I mean,
I'm sure he crossed that line a while ago. It could have started with like I believed in Elon, and then he strapped a Tesla to his rocket and it came back down to Earth.
That was great.
Okay, right? That was great.
Don't knock him for that. That was great.
I'm not fully knocking him for that, but it did come back and crash down.
Wait, did it come back? I thought it just drifted out.
I think it crashed back. I thought it just drifted out. Hang on,
I'm not sure what happened. Let me
continue.
look at this.
Continue.
All I can say is like, it's just like, it's become very apparent, like that this Twitter thing, social media, is just not his forte, and the fact that he's trying to make it work, it's fine, it's okay, but like he should really stop being so rash with his decisions and trust more of the people that were like some of the people. I get when he laid them off, why they needed to cut some staff, money problems, especially with the amount that he paid and the loans and this and that. It's made
just to bring some light to
worse.
that, he's I think in debt for 13 billion, and the interest of that is yearly $1 billion.
Oh,
You think?
Jesus.
So he's like deep in the debt market right now.
that's an unfathomable amount of money.
Also,
Yeah.
my
You guys
bad,
know
yeah.
how much that is? That's
Also, my bad. Sorry, just cut in. My bad. Okay, yeah, that car is still going. Apparently, in a few million years, it's either gonna crash back into Earth, or it's gonna end up on Venus.
oh
my hope,
hell yeah.
my hope is that this car ends up on Venus, baby. Anyways, go on. You're saying interest 1 billion a year.
Dude,
Yes.
listen. If we had 1% of 1 billion, how much is that? Can we get some math in here?
Oh damn it! None of us know how to math.
I failed my maths. I failed my maths. So
You're
that's
all
it, but okay.
useless.
Yes, we are all useless. This is why we have
Come
this
on,
podcast
Mr.
of like
College.
skilled people. True.
I think it's like 10,000
Okay.
or 10 million. 10,000 or 10 million. One of those
10
two.
million, what?
Give me the answer.
1%.
I don't
1%.
know.
Sir.
I don't know. I think it's 10,000. I can't read. Someone do
Okay,
this for me.
so if you guys tuned in into this podcast for any sort of mathematical equation to be done, don't expect it to be done because we are terrible. One didn't go to college, one is still doing his O levels, and the other is in college but doesn't know what the fuck he's doing apparently.
Yeah, I
Of
don't
course,
do
the guy
math.
that's going to college.
Listen, I write programs to do my math. I don't do it myself.
And there lies
Oh my
the
god.
claim, the excuse. It's like the technology takes away the skills.
We were looking for 1% of a billion. Am I
Okay,
right?
it's 10,000. Yes, it's 10,000.
What? 1% of 1 billion?
Wait, no, sorry, 10 million. 10 million. 10 million.
Tell me, what is the answer? You give me the fucking answer right
Okay.
now.
It's 10 million. It's 10 million.
It's ridiculous. Like if we had 1% of the interest, not even what Elon Musk owes,
Just the interest, yeah.
we'd be done. We'd be done.
Be retired.
Retired,
Yeah.
have like more than half that invested, and we have way more than enough to do whatever the hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I could be
it's
in the
a
Bahamas with
unfathomable
Sam Bankman-Fried, all right?
I could buy my own
That's so
island.
specific.
It only costs like 1 mil.
Hang on. That's so specific. What?
You don't know about Sam Bankman-Fried?
No, I'm asking why him specifically.
Dude, it's okay. So that's the guy from FTX, the
Yeah.
cryptocurrency.
Yeah. So like, why him specifically?
Because he ran to the Bahamas, and then they caught him and they brought him back.
Oh, is that how that story ended up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
They
thought he was
got
on the
him. And
run.
they're charging.
Oh.
They caught him in the Bahamas. They arrested the people. Arrested him.
Okay, interesting.
Really,
I guess-
that's
I guess
a
we can-
whole
I don't-
other thing.
I don't-
I'm not even going to go
yeah.
into crypto.
I
Right
know.
now.
The
depth.
The only
Like,
thing I
you-
just want to say, the only thing I caught up in terms of like the FTX stuff was the esports side when because FTX went into a lot of sponsorships with a lot of teams in esports. TSM is the most notable one because TSM Team Solo Mid, they eventually rebranded their name to TSM FTX. So the pro players would be like TSM FTX Imperial Hell or TSM FTX Verhulst, like that's their pro names. They would have like the name of the team and then the crypto thing. It was huge. And then I knew that when FTX they filed for bankruptcy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe.
So
Could
I
be
think
wrong.
when they filed for bankruptcy or they started like dying, liquidating, literally just everything, TSM I believe dropped their world's roster, their league team, which is
Yeah.
huge for you for an organization to drop your league team. especially TSM, like that name, huge. But it means that money-wise, they're not doing too good. So, and it's like no coincidence because it came like a few weeks after the FTX situation. So anyways, going back to the Elon thing. We can come back to FTX another time.
Really quick, I want to add League of Legends. I think just like maybe last month, they cut the deal, or they're trying to terminate the deal. Like Riot Games is trying to terminate their deal with FTX because they were doing one.
Really?
Not wrong. 96 million, dude. I don't. That's crazy that FTX got so big to scam the entire world.
How did they get so much, man?
Man, people and scamming these days is it's amazing. Like China and their real estate scamming situation. My God, that was a beauty.
Dude, forget China. What about Logan Paul?
Oh my!
That's
yes, my God. Logan.
We need to do more research and come back on the crypto.
Yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back to Logan Paul. I think like I'm kind of interested to follow. I'm kind of interested to follow that story. At first, I thought it was just like more like Logan drama. 'Cause he has this thing for like being a decent human being, and then doing some drama, and then going back to a decent human being.
I mean,
yeah, it's like he's like a hypocrite. But it's like he has this kind of track record like online where it's like he's a decent human being for like X amount of months. He does something stupid, and then he goes back to being a decent human being. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty much his track record.
It's like his style. Anyways, shall we go back to the Elon thing? We will come back to Logan Paul and FTX maybe next episode.
What else is there to say about Elon, man?
I mean, Twitter, like I said, has 4 months of expiry now, because after 4 months they won't have enough money to sustain it, because of all the debt and everything else. So in 4 months it's either they somehow make it or it's gone. They have to file for bankruptcy.
I can't believe it went this way. Because honestly, had Elon Musk not gotten in all this business, like Tesla would be doing better. SpaceX, everything he touched would be doing better.
Yeah, I think it's just that he believed he could make it happen, but there's a lot of underlying things with Twitter that I think he maybe wasn't fully aware of. Because, like, for example, Twitter had a huge security team where every update the security team would go through to make sure that if they can actually push it to the users, because they had the agreement, like I said, with that institution, whatever it was, because of their security problems before. Yeah. So he just pretty much got rid of most of them, and I think with the couple of releases that he didn't even consult anyone. It just kind of happened. They just put it up for a day and then they took it out, and it was like, all right.
May I cut in here real quick? Because he dropped his essentially dropped majority of the staff, including his security team. Twitter, as of 2-3 weeks ago, had a data breach, which I'm not too sure if you guys were aware of.
Yes.
Twitter had a data breach, and over 400 million accounts were compromised. 400 million within those 2 weeks.
God.
And phone numbers, everything, emails, all there. I mean,
it's a travesty,
luckily that whole Twitter blue thing didn't go through, so I don't think any credit cards or payment stuff was stolen. But according to the story, if this is the same data breach, according to the story, one person got in. Just one. Compromised 400 million accounts. And is holding it for ransom for like $400,000.
Only?
Yeah, I know, right? $400,000 only. That's the crazy part. Like 400, when I saw it, I was like, 400. Mind everyone, and especially the people that saw my Twitter at the time, I was one of the accounts that got compromised.
Oh my God.
Damn, you're telling me I was only worth $400,000? God damn.
Well, I mean, $400,000, man. Honestly, you said it was 400 million accounts?
400 million accounts.
For $400,000? That's a pretty good bargain, dude.
It's a pretty good bargain.
They should have paid
a lot of the big accounts that I think got compromised were like, the usual politicians and big actors, activists, and so on. So, I think there's a chance that it's still kind of happening, or like the system of like the compromisation is still kind of like slowly spreading out. So, to our friends that are using Twitter at the moment, I recommend you change your passwords, just once or twice this next few weeks, just in case. Because
I'm not sure if that guy still has access to the database, but if he does.
I mean, just change your password. You know what? Just set it. Put it as like your tiny New Year's resolution. Change your passwords for everything.
Yeah, just change your passwords.
Just change your passwords, man. Just change your passwords.
Do you guys trust Google's password manager?
No.
I'm like half. I'm very certain it can get breached at some point.
Yeah. Now, I use it, but I don't trust it.
Yeah, like I use it, but I'm like,
you goddamn idiot. Yeah, I use it, but I don't trust it either, I guess. Now that you say that.
There's like
business handshake.
There you go. They are handshaking to the screen at the moment.
Firm hand grip.
Yep. Yeah, I don't use the Google password manager for big things, like as in I don't keep my passwords there, like my bank and stuff.
Right.
That is all in my head.
That's fair.
That is all in my head. Everything else though is kind of fair game because I know I can do account recoveries for it, and I know there's like 2FA, and I know there is like systems to kind of tell you that you got breached first.
Yeah.
So, which has been happening lately. I think someone just has my email. But I've been changing passwords for a lot of stuff, and no transactions have gone out, luckily. But I had to change passwords for a lot of things. So,
Just gonna check my Gmail real quick. God, paranoid.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably go through my email after this as well.
Yeah. So New Year's resolution for everyone as well. Just keep yourself safe online, and change your passwords every few months or so. Make sure you have good friends to tell you if your Twitter is suddenly just spewing crypto and NFT scams.
Make sure you have good friends.
That's what happens. Yeah, make sure you have good friends. Yeah.
Invest in FTX.
Especially now.
Right now.
Yeah, their stock has gone really low. It is time to get in because it can only
Diamond
go up.
hands.
To the moon. To the moon we go.
Oh, God,
to the moon and back, baby. Oh man.
It's hard. It's hard to trust people with crypto, dude. There's just so many criminals involved in crypto because it's just so easy. It's too easy to not track somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you track it, what can you really do?
The crypto police. And not
yes,
obviously.
A crypto police.
Yeah, how could I forget? Oh,
how would you pay them? How would you pay crypto police? I just want to know.
The CPD, you're right. That crypto police. How did I forget about them?
The CPD.
So predictable.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So that's Elon.
That's also
I'm sure there's more.
Freed.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to come with that. I'm sure there's more. We just have to watch over it and see what else he does, I guess. Man's full of surprises. What else did we talk about? We talked about the YouTube policies. We'll keep updated on that one. I want to keep updated on that one. I'll keep you guys updated on that one. I think next week I'll have more of a full story for it. Because usually these things about YouTube policy changes, they're always very heated in the first week, and a lot of misinterpretation goes into dissecting the policies because they're very vague.
And also, they don't tell you when the policies happen. You just figure,
they just kinda,
demonetized? Why?
They just kind of happen, and then it's like the creators kind of find out on their next upload, which is kind of it's screwed up. That's what it is, It's not fair in that sense. So I really have to stop saying "in that sense" so much. I've said it like 4 or 5 times.
In that sense.
in that
sense.
Shall we move this on to a little bit more of a fun topic, I guess, before we end off everything?
All right, sure.
What do you have in mind? Fortnite?
Oh,
My bad.
well, it is gaming related. How do you guys feel about upcoming games? What's your upcoming game that you're kind of watching?
Ooh.
Ah, man, I'm watching a lot. I'm watching a lot of them.
Let's bring up the
I don't
list.
have high hopes for
Let me bring
most
up
of
the
them.
list.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for most of them, but I will buy them either way, because I am a sucker for AAA games and
Spoken like a
a
true
couple of
gamer.
indie games. Yeah, a couple of indie games here and there. I don't keep up with indie games too much because there's just so many of them, especially in the recent years. It's hard to keep up.
I mean,
But
indie games have blown up so much because the AAA games industry is kind of just falling flat in its
dying out,
face.
yeah.
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 So, and I think it really got propelled. Like we've seen instances of indie games being super popular, and just taking over mainstream media for like a short amount of time. I remember when Hotline Miami was crazy. I remember
Stardew Valley.
when Stardew Valley was great. Value. Why did I say
Undertale.
Valley. Okay, Stardew
Stardew
Valley.
Fuck, yeah,
Stardew
Undertale.
Valley is crazy. Undertale, yes, and like even FNAF when it first started, right? That's an indie game.
Oh yeah, FNAF.
Not
yeah.
when
That
it
went on
first
for-
started.
Jesus.
The whole way through.
Yeah.
Trust.
It was all planned out from Scott Cawthon. Regardless,
I went to Target. I almost bought some FNAF merch just now,
you should have.
but I got this
Go back to-
Minecraft stuff instead.
Go back to Target and buy me FNAF merch.
I'll think on it.
Okay, thank you. um, yeah, like there's a lot of indie games like that really made their mark in the scene and have grown their own trends. And I think the one indie game that I remember to have really like kicked off this kind of era of like, hey, let's just have like a lot more gamers focus on indie games was Hades.
Oh yeah.
Hades
Absolutely.
blew-
Hades was amazing.
Blew everyone's expectations out the water. Everyone. It's a beautifully made game. It's so in depth. And there's so much more after you finish even what you think is the main storyline.
Don't forget
Yup.
the soundtrack.
Yeah, and the
Never forget.
There's a
soundtrack
lot.
is
There's a
killer.
lot of good things.
There's
to
a
be
lot.
said about that
I
game.
could go on for a whole nother hour about Hades. You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
This is what I know of Hades from not even playing it. I have it. I have not played it.
You haven't played Hades, but
Isn't
you
that
have.
crazy? But like I know it. Like I know it. I know its legacy. I know like the story behind like its development. There's a channel out there called Noclip. Noclip is
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So Noclip is a like game documentary channel, right? But these guys are like fan funded, and they can get interviews with like the game companies and the publishers of people, and the devs and everything that make the games, and they're really well made. These documentaries are like 100% like they would be worth your money if they had asked you to pay for it. That's the crazy part, is because they don't. It's on their YouTube channel. It's all there. They do it because it's fan funded, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I recommend like you, if people don't know about it, search up this documentary channel called Noclip. Look through the entire development of Hades. It's like 5 parts, 6 parts. It's a lot, and yeah. And I think Hades really started the whole like let's keep our eyes on the indie game scene, because it's where it's at the moment. In terms of AAA games, Hogwarts Legacy I think is something people are kind of keeping their eye out
Oh yeah.
on.
Yeah. I'm 100% buying that. Hogwarts Legacy is definitely a game that I'll be playing.
We have
There's Forspoken.
Is Forspoken? Sorry, I'm just so curious. We'll probably come back to this at some point because Harry Potter tends to always loop around in people's lives and conversations. What's your guys' house? What's your Patronus?
I don't know my Patronus. I can't remember it, but I'm
I-
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw? I'm Ravenclaw as
Yeah.
well.
That's a dub.
I never looked at mine. I'm not gonna
What?
lie. I was never a Harry Potter
Okay,
fan.
so Ali, you have homework. Next episode, I want to know what your
Get
house
back.
is. And Faris, I want to know what your Patronus is. So for me, I'm a Ravenclaw, and I believe my I've done this test a few times, but I've always ended up with Ravenclaw. My Patronus is currently an elephant, I think.
Oh. Listen, Ali, when you do the test, be honest. Don't you dare try to be more noble than you are, and don't be more devious than you are.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't even know what that means.
Because honestly, when I look at Ali, he's kind of giving me like Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. All right.
How dare you? I don't even know what those are, but how dare you?
Yellow or red, not blue or green. All right.
He has that with like an underlying like Slytherin motive, you know.
Oh shit.
He can get there. He can get there.
So that's why he got
he could-
Ravenclaw.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like that's the majority of the case, right? It's just like, oh, you think you're gonna be in Hufflepuff, and then you have some motives that kind of like align with Slytherin, and you just end up in Ravenclaw, and then you realize Ravenclaw really is just like, wow, we're normal fucking people here.
God damn it.
We're
dude.
smart, but we're normal.
Hogwarts
what-
Legacy. Would you
yeah,
guys consider
Hogwarts-
Payday AAA, or is that double A?
I think that's double A. I think
that's
Payday.
double A.
I think Payday is kind of double A.
it's definitely.
Is it confirmed
tighter.
that's gonna come out?
Yes,
this
Payday
year?
3 is confirmed. Yes.
2023.
Okay.
That's the game I'm looking for this year. I always
I was
said if they
talking-
updated it.
I was
I'd
talking
be
to
on
my
it.
friend. Isaac about this, and he's a massive Payday fan.
Mhm.
I was talking to him about it. I was just like, I'm kind of surprised that Payday continued to still do content for Payday 2 while developing Payday 3. Because
You've-
like I
I
expected,
mean, they
like
probably made two separate teams.
sure they probably have like a team left behind, and they have like a team that's doing Payday 3.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised overall in terms of like the kind of content that they still put out for Payday 2. It's still like new gun packs, new DLCs, new heists, like everything, right? I expected maybe like new gun packs, and that's kind of it. And then like all the heists that we have, all the content that we have in the game was like suitable enough, because there's a lot. There is a lot of content in Payday 2 if you jump in right now. It is so much. The game is 80 gigs. However, it's not 80 gigs because there's a lot of content. It's 80 gigs because the game is kind of unoptimized, but hopefully Payday 3 will be a bit more updated on the engine. So
We won't talk about Payday 2. We won't
Yeah.
talk about it.
yeah. And yeah, you were saying Forspoken. I don't know too much about
Yeah.
Forspoken, so tell me more about that.
I mean, there's a beta out right now, I think, for the game.
It's
But,
published by
I'm
Square
not big-
Enix.
Yep. I'm not sure how this game is gonna turn out. From my opinion, I genuinely have no idea if it's gonna be good or bad, because the Square Enix games are hit or miss. They're always a hit or miss
Sure, yeah.
for me, anyway.
I agree.
I feel like sometimes their team can invest in the proper stuff, and then the other
Yeah.
half is like very spontaneous. It's just like, let's try and let's fund this game, and then it just dies in a month.
Yeah, so I have no idea how this game is gonna go, but a lot of people are excited for it because of how fluid it seems. The combat and the action and all the trailers, it just seems very fluid for a lot of people. And I'm
Okay.
still gonna play it. I'm gonna go through it and see how it is. It looks fun.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we could go through every game on this list, but I kind of want to narrow it down. So, what's the game you're looking forward to? Like truly looking forward to in like in the list for this year?
Where's the list? Oh, for
This year.
I thought you made a list.
No, I didn't make a list. If I made a list, it'd be like a whole thing. I just want to I just want to get this done, and then I'll do one more little fun thing, and then I think we can end off the episode.
You know,
Yeah.
my favorite thing that I'm looking forward to is Dota 2 again. All right.
Oh man,
Think on it.
the re-release of Dota 2 is gonna be amazing.
The
yeah.
remaster, dude.
Oh, how about all the friend groups this year? All those certain friend groups this year that are gonna go through their Minecraft phase in like the middle of May.
The relapse.
Start
Oh
up
man, it's
start
gonna
up
be
their
us
server.
too. It's-
Yeah, you're gonna start up your server. You're gonna be in there for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Okay, no, 2 weeks minimum. 2.5 months maximum. And it either ends up with everyone leaving peacefully, or someone commits a war crime and sows distrust in the friend group, and then everyone just kind of stops playing.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah.
My last Minecraft endeavor had us go through a court case.
What?
We made a court, and there's a whole story to this, and I think the friends that are listening to this podcast are already laughing remembering this, but we made a whole court case for a stolen bookshelf, and it ended
Over
up
a
becoming
bookshelf.
a whole thing where we all just started accusing each other of stolen items and like misplaced stuff and like weird like development plans and so on. It became a free for all. Like imagine if Ace Attorney was a BR. Yeah, that's what it would be. that's what it would look like in that court case.
I'm not gonna lie.
Turn into Twitter.
It turned into Twitter, but I'm not sure that's most Minecraft group. I think that might be a specific to you guys. Sorry, it was a bookshelf.
No. That's why it stops
know.
at the so's distrust. Us making a whole court case and turning it into Ace Attorney, that's on us.
Bring out all the evidence.
Exactly.
Dude.
We brought out receipts and everything, man. It was so funny. It was so funny. Okay. While you guys look up the list of upcoming games, I guess I will tell you the game that I'm most excited for this year, and that would be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Dude. I was just checking if that came out this year.
Yes, it's coming out this year, man. And Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So if people do not know, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is a Souls-like Star Wars game. It's like Souls-light, I guess, but Souls-like Star Wars game. Very good story, developed by Respawn. And if you guys don't know who Respawn is, they made Titanfall. And if you somehow don't know what Titanfall is, then you guys would definitely have played Apex, because they made that game too. So, made by those guys. The game is incredibly dynamic. It's fun. I recommend getting Jedi Fallen Order on sale, or just like when it, cause like okay for I think our currency, Jedi Fallen Order goes for like 30 ringgit, which is a crazy deal.
I saw it for $4.99.
Yeah, it's a crazy deal for the quality of game that you're gonna get in Fallen Order. So I highly recommend it. I'm very excited from all the previews and all the stuff that I managed to see in terms of their promo for Jedi Survivor, and I know a lot of people are simping over Cal Kestis's like look, his rugged kind of grown up look.
I hope he shows up in The Mandalorian.
I hope he shows up in that series, right? They have the actor for it.
He's in shape, and he's young, and he looks like he does in the game.
Yeah, exactly, right? And he's a fan of Star Wars. He's played through the game. So, yeah. All right. Ali, you have a game in mind? You look like you wanted to speak about something.
I mean, yeah, there's just free games for me that I have in mind, and I can't like choose in between them.
Fair enough.
But one of them is Octopath Traveler 2. That's just, I know it's gonna be a good game.
Okay.
I know it's gonna be great. I love that. The other one is Wild Hearts, which is Electronic Arts is developing that, and it's pretty much a Monster Hunter game by Electronic Arts, and I have no idea where that's gonna go. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're gonna, you guys want to use a great sword? Oh, you're gonna have to loot box the great sword. You guys want to use a scythe? You're gonna have to loot box a scythe. Let's hope that's not the case.
Let's just hope that's not the case. And the last one being Zelda, obviously. Just very excited for Zelda.
I would love to have a Switch to play Breath of the Wild. I still don't have that experience yet. So
yeah,
I know.
I wish I had a Switch to play the new one.
Well, there you go.
I played Breath of the Wild and it was amazing, and I sold my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
All right, Faris.
So
upcoming game of the year.
Listen, I have 3 notes. All right, we're gonna go through all 3 of them. All right. It has come to my attention that Kerbal Space Program 2 is coming out this year.
No
Game
way.
of the year.
No
Game
way.
Of the year.
Wait.
Yeah, it
Are
is.
you
It is
serious?
coming out this year. Yeah.
It's real. I didn't.
Oh no.
It's real.
February. It's actually next month. That's the crazy part.
Just get ready for Markiplier to play it.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I'm not buying it. I'm here to watch it.
Space. He's just gonna go space.
Oh Lord, dude.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, all
Maybe
right.
we'll get another space song from Markiplier.
Oh, no,
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
Yes, please. I would love it. I would love it.
One of the things I find interesting, because I already mentioned what my most anticipated for me is Payday, right? But like,
Yeah.
you know, Dead Island 2 took for goddamn ever to
right.
goddamn arrive. The trailer
right.
was historic. The trailer's
Oh
a
my
piece,
God.
an art piece.
It's gonna come out this year as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
April
Yeah.
2023.
It.
Yeah.
See, I was talking with a few friends at the time when Dead Island 2, the trailer was like showcased in a VC, and I was just like, this game looks great. It looks like they've really stuck to the formula, right? The problem is that they've technically made this game but better, and it's Dying Light.
Yeah. Dying Light, man. It's just that if Dead Island came out sooner, it wouldn't have this problem.
You wouldn't have this issue because I'm sure you can still find ways to innovate the core gameplay loop for Dead Island 2, right? And find some interesting ways to make you fight the zombies, some interesting weapons and everything. Just a million different ideas you can throw in. But the core aspect that made Dying Light so fun was movement and just how good it felt at times. You know, it was just like, it was very floaty. Yeah, I won't lie. You know, some of the jumps that you do, it really seems like you're in like 0.5 gravity.
The grapple hook.
And the grapple hook too. Yeah, it's crazy. But like Dying Light, man, like, because we know those are from the same, or at least had people from the same development team that were gonna do Dead Island 2 before it got like stopped, and then they moved on to do Dying Light and Dying Light 2. So, and I know Dying Light 2 is not, you know, the best. Still, a game like experience, it's still fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm genuinely curious to see how Dead Island 2, or like what Dead Island 2's like reception is gonna be when it launches.
I am just concerned, and I'm probably not gonna buy it, but I'm interested to see what it does.
Sure, yeah.
If it turns out good, you know, because like I'm always on the edge of buying a zombie game, but there's always something that's, you know, that doesn't do it for me. Like Ali bought I can't remember what the game is called. It's the one where the Left 4 Dead like
Back
team,
4 Blood.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood.
Yeah, Back 4 Blood.
Ali bought it, played it for a bit, and then you like returned it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I refunded it.
I was on the edge of buying that, but I didn't end up doing it.
I beta tested Back 4 Blood, or like I got into the open beta.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a clip on my Twitch channel where on the first level there's like a wooden bridge, right? Or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
you go from like the apartment to the next apartment. But it's like a little bridge there. You kind of have to wait for, or like fight in that area. We went to the middle of the bridge and we slipped into a small gap in the bridge. And from the bridge, we TP'd as if we were hanging off the building. $40 game.
Yeah. They were back, and they were there for blood.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the crazy part about Back 4 Blood, right? Was just the, I don't know, like, I liked some of the concepts that they had, but it was just not, somehow it's still not beating Left 4 Dead 2 or Left 4 Dead in terms of experience.
They didn't have that Valve quality check.
Yeah, that's, again, I don't know if that's like a nostalgia thing. Like oh man, Left 4 Dead 2 is like, you know, one of my first zombie games and everything, but I don't know. I just don't think the way the game felt just.
No, I understand what you're saying. Like everything felt powerful for me, at least when I played it. Like the animations and everything, it all kind of like
the animations were great.
It felt nice, but then the gameplay just
the gameplay itself was just kind of like
just didn't do it.
It's there, like
it was like stale bread.
Yeah,
no,
it's like,
not
it's
the stale bread.
Yeah, no, not the stale. Yeah, but no, he's right. Like he's absolutely right. It is kind of like stale bread. It's like, it's there, you know, it's still kind of okay, right? It's stale bread, right? What could what can you really go wrong? But it's like you only have that foundation, and nothing else. Even the zombie types were things that we fought before in Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, and even other zombie games. And I know it's hard to innovate off of like those like tropes and everything, but it's like one too many times the same. That's how I feel.
Yes, I agree.
And these days when I watch Back 4 Blood, I still feel the same. It's like I don't know, like I would play it just because the guns feel good, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I think the gunplay is amazing, but the game itself is subpar.
Mm-hmm.
I get that same kick from the guns from Call of Duty now, so I'm happy.
Exactly.
Oh,
Now, that's
this
a
year's
whole
Call of
different
Duty is
story.
a banger, dude.
Yeah.
It's good.
So hope they don't kill it.
They should just not release the next one. They should wait.
I think they
should
can
really
do.
wait it
I think they can stop doing yearly releases.
They
I
should
think they can
do every
genuinely
two.
just they
Every
can
2
do every
years.
2 or every 3 even,
Mhm.
if they're brave enough. They could definitely do every
They
3.
just gotta focus on extending the game's length instead of adding a ton of stuff till it becomes convoluted and then make a new one.
Not only that, they have to really figure out their file sizes.
Yeah. Well, what to do?
Modern Warfare 2 should not take up an entire NVMe drive. It should not take up one whole 500 gig SSD. I'm just saying.
It should not. You're right. Yeah.
No, I think it's earned its place. All right, I think it should. Yes, me.
It has.
It has character.
Someone. It adds character. Sure. In the meeting room, someone must have went like, okay, so FPS market right now is kind of getting super oversaturated, and while we're still a main title, we still want to be kept around and played at for a long time. How do we do this? Steve, do you have any idea? And this is Steve, right? He's sitting there. He just came back from partying with his friends and everything. He's drunk out of his fucking mind. Actually, no, he's high out of his mind. And he's doing this. He's leaned back on his chair and he's like, what if instead of monopolizing the gamer's attention, we monopolize their drives?
If they can't have another
If they
game
can't have
on their
enough
PC,
space. Yeah, exactly. See,
they
Jerry
will
gets
only
it.
play.
If they don't have enough space for any other games and they only play ours, attention gain, man. Interest not lost.
Dude.
You're a genius, Steve. That's why I put you on this team. I like you. Make the game 2 times bigger.
This is dead weight.
They
It
just
is.
like make the same map but under it, and then they just layer it to add, to add more.
That would be devious. Holy crap, that would be so devious to do that. Oh my gosh, people will find out about that. They would riot. Damn.
Oh man, that would be crazy.
They would riot. Wow. Okay. Before we leave off the upcoming thing, I just want to give off a few notable mentions. Since we were talking about this, Dead Space remake.
Yes.
That should be fun.
Notable mention. That should
Notable
be fun.
mention. Not much to really mention in terms of the Dead Space remake besides that, it's Dead Space. It should be good. The content is all there. Like everything for Dead Space that made it so good, it's all there. It's just if you're making a remake and you're updating the engine and everything, you just have to make sure it performs well. Performance
Make
needs to
sure
be
it
good.
performs perfect.
Yeah. Because if your horror game has very low frames, I don't think it's going to deliver the correct intention. I'm going to be more scared of crashing than I am of the necromorphs that's hanging from the ceiling.
Oh man. Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, yeah, sure. I've seen a lot of their CGI trailers and stuff, so I want to see some actual gameplay of it. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping it doesn't turn out like Gotham Knights, because come on. Yeah, I don't. Let's not go there.
Let's
Yeah,
not.
Let's not. Look, let's just say this: Gotham Knights, story-wise and like character interaction
of the
wise, great. I love how they wrote. I love how they wrote the characters and everything, and how they interact with each other. I love how like Jason's interacting with Dick. I love how like they have their whole like Bat family and everything kind of like going on, and it's like it's great. It's nice, but gameplay-wise, I would rather get run over by the Batmobile. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would rather,
like to be
like-
the anime girl that gets hit with a truck at the start.
Yeah. No, like you know how like in Arkham Asylum, Batman has a non-lethal Batmobile that he can run people over with, because that's how that works. Batman, I'm sure you can run someone over at
Yes.
180 miles per hour, just shock them, and they're fine. Yeah, I would rather be that guy than play through Gotham Knights. So-
Yeah, we can just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can just leave it. We'll just leave it at there. Another notable mention is, what was it? Skull and Bones. So Skull and Bones is an upcoming game. Not because I want to play it, but because I want to see what the reception is.
I'm just curious what the game is. They've changed it so many times. I don't know what they're making anymore.
Yeah, and we were talking about this, Faris. We were talking about Skull and Bones, and I was kind of on the side of like, I don't think it's gonna be a good game, because they essentially took the premise of Assassin's Creed 4, only the sailing part, and made that the game, which is okay. You know, I love Assassin's Creed 4 and I love the sailing. A bit monotonous at times, but it's there. It's just that the systems that they have and the systems that they've showed in like testing, it looks kind of bad. Like, do you know how in Assassin's Creed 4 you would have like a whole animation and everything for like grabbing resources and so on, like you'd go into the water or something, right? Or you'd play the experience of actually jumping off your boat, going into the island, doing parkour stuff, and then like grabbing a treasure chest, looping around the island, and then jumping off like a high point and then going back into your ship, right? That's the whole Assassin's Creed experience plus a pirate experience. It's pretty cool. Skull and Bones has you park next to an island, look at like a tree, press E, wait for a bar to finish, and then you have 60 coconuts.
Yeah. You know how they can make this better?
How?
You give me quick action buttons in the middle of it.
No, dude. Oh my god, you're gonna turn it. Oh fuck. What is his name? David Cage. Is that his name? You're just gonna turn into a David Cage game like halfway, where it's just like quick time events. It's gonna be like Detroit, like.
No.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be great. I would love it.
I'm just surprised they didn't just go with a high resolution Sea of Thieves, you know?
That's what they have to compete
honestly.
with. That's what they have to compete with. That's the thing. They have to compete with Sea of Thieves. That's hard.
I don't think it's that hard.
I don't think it's that hard. I mean,
It's hard.
Sea of Thieves is just there's not too much to it from my perspective, anyway.
There's not too much to it. But what else is on the market in that specific genre that has that monopoly at the moment?
Yeah,
That's your
else.
competition.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah,
saying
and the
it's not, like, the
competition
hardest
is dead in the competition's dead in the water in Southeast Asia and out there. The game's really just alive in Europe and America.
Fair enough. But still, that's what you have to fight with. Quality wise, Sea of Thieves, still very good. Still getting updated.
It's good
True,
and all,
true.
but you know the problem is the threat, the natural threat of the game is too low. The stakes, you don't really,
The players, right?
you know, I mean, like the threat should be the players, but like the natural threat of the islands, the skeletons that you fight, they're all the same. It's pretty simple. But I just think that they need to up the natural threat to make it feel like the world's more hostile.
Okay, yeah.
But the game's for casuals. That's the thing.
That's fair enough.
The truth is Sea of Thieves is for casuals, and Skull and Bones should have been the same game, but not for casuals. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Fair
agree.
enough. Fair enough.
I think I'll definitely give Skull and Bones a go at least. Like, I'll just buy it and play for a couple hours and see how I feel.
If you're gonna do your
good.
game review thing, I would like to see your game review that like Skull and Bones.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I might. We'll see how that goes, but I'll definitely want to at least try it out because I've been waiting for it for so many years. Me and Faris have been talking about Skull and Bones for years.
I remember when the E3 trailer for it came out years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were about to buy it. We were thinking about buying Sea of Thieves, and then we thought, we were like, what if Skull and Bones comes out?
Oh boy.
It didn't come out.
Yeah.
I just thought you should know it did not come out.
If you're not in the loop, it's not.
I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you guys know, but like I am currently talking about upcoming games. Skull and Bones is on that list. So yeah. All right. Okay. Fair enough. In terms of like where that stands.
I think we're.
There's one more.
There's one more. There's one more I want to mention. Sons of the Forest,
Yes, I'm excited.
aka the sequel to The Forest. And I
It's
think
the Forest 2.0.
it's the
It's the
Forest
second
2.0.
Forest.
It's the Forest 2.0. I'm not expecting this to be any more than it is, but if it does, that's gonna be great. The Forest is a great experience. I ran through it so
Yeah,
many
if
times.
it's just the Forest, but just better, I like it just slightly better in life, like quality and just general things. I don't necessarily want them to add more. I just want it to be Forest better.
Yeah, like I want the main core experience of the Forest to still be there.
Yeah.
But I want them to play around with like the threats, and the challenges that you get in the game, in the core gameplay loop. Because I think that's the part where they can update themselves on.
Yeah, I've only seen one image from it.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy, like he grabbed something from the turtle, but you can see the dead body of the turtle, and it's like it's just messed up. You can see the inside and everything, and I loved it. I want that. I just want that. I want that turtle in my life.
I hope they kind of make the cave exploring a little bit scarier, but like properly scarier in terms of, I guess, atmosphere, if that makes sense. Because I love the Forest when we were like diving into the caves and everything, but I hated it to a certain point once, because it really starts to get tedious. It's like, oh man, I'm out of torches, or I'm out of like lighter fluid. It gets really annoying. So I'm hoping they kind of look towards the cave exploration experience, because I think that can be made better.
If they can somehow make that feel like Subnautica, like when you go to a new area in Subnautica, that would be amazing.
Yes, that would be amazing. That would. Oh, wow. Subnautica to me is a terrifying game. It's because I'm scared of the ocean, but like, god damn, I love it. Okay, so that's
right.
That's upcoming
I'll just
games.
give my notable mention as well. This is not a new game, but Persona 2 and 3 are going to come out for all consoles finally this year.
Oh yes, yeah, right.
Yeah, and that deserves a mention.
Faris, anything else you want to add?
No, I already mentioned all that I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to playing more Counter-Strike, more Dota, more Overwatch. Not really Overwatch. I don't like Overwatch.
I'm
but
looking forward to playing more with people's emotions, their futures.
These bitches, these hoes.
My Nike.
Oh, okay, all right. I did say I wanted to do one last thing. So we did gaming, talk about business stuff, and everything behind the scenes. I want to end it off with a bit of music. Do you guys have one or two music song recommendations before we hit this off, to give people something to listen to for the week?
Ali, you give one for this week. I'll get next week. I don't know if you got next.
I think we can all do one per week. Come on.
No, I don't think we can.
Yeah, we can. It's like an old. It can be like an old song too. Something you've been listening to. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the song that really made like the last couple of months for me, that I've been listening to a lot, is "Belly of the Beast" by Brendan Savage. I've been listening to that a lot.
Okay,
so give that a listen.
I haven't heard of that one.
That's a good one. You go first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll go. One of the songs I really like, this is my daily driver. It's what I wake up and like listen to when I'm like getting ready for work and stuff. And I also work out to this song as well. Moby Dick by Jakey. Kind of goes hard.
There you go.
It might be a bit diff,
I agree.
but it's kind of hard.
I agree.
So, man, workout songs have definitely been something I've been like really tuning into. I listen to like the Creed 2 album to work out sometimes.
Oh, dude, that's composed so good.
It's great. It's just filled with like the right amount of energy for me. Like it's wonderful. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and actually recommend this artist by the name of Kaz Moon, Moon. He makes some interesting jumps in terms of like genre for his music. But I recommend listening to Furious. So that's Kazmoon Furious. It's pretty interesting. I just beat wise, it's really nice. It's like I said, it's just different. Like, I would need people's opinions on it. Yeah, it's just diff. It's great. It's a great like late night song, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job. Got a good job today, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, our plan was 40 minutes. We are an hour and a half in.
Okay, yeah, I think that's perfect. I think we can stop there. So
God forbid the day we plan for an hour and a half long podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna go long. So I think we can stop here. So yeah, this is gonna be hopefully a recurring thing. This podcast. We'll try and make it a recurring thing. This is still very much a test run. So we'll see how it goes. Quality wise will definitely be improved. And yeah, we don't have any socials to throw out for the podcast specifically, not yet. So in the meantime, this is either going to be put up on its own channel, or it might be hosted onto my channel, whatever it is. I'll deal with the socials. But I'll do off my my outro first. If you guys want to find me, I'm lottanascalliber on pretty much all my socials. Usually there's an underscore in some of them. I stream on Twitch. I have a YouTube channel. And yeah, that's where you can find me. And I have a TikTok. Yeah. That's it. On to you, Faris.
Well, I'll just give my Instagrams where I'm most prominent. Maybe one day when I'm bigger on my music socials, I'll start giving that out. But it's literally, and my username starts here. Just the Puffman. No spaces, no lines, no weird shit. That's it. So easy, so simple. I don't know, that's it.
Sounds like a 9080 ad. I love it.
Nice.
314. Dial this number now.
What about your SoundCloud? You want to shout that out?
Not yet. Don't worry.
Yet? Okay. All right. And Ali, where could people find you if you ever want to do that?
Nowhere as of right now. I have.
I guess your Instagram.
Nowhere that I
Man
want
has no socials.
Yeah, I guess your Instagram. If your Instagram is made
it's very
public.
private.
It's very
private.
private.
Yeah, my Instagram is private right now, but I have no social yet. I plan to make a couple for different things. That will happen eventually as we go on with the podcast and other things that I'm working on.
Yep.
So, that's something to look forward to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out the socials as we go. And we'll have everything updated by then if this project continues. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I think today was pretty good in terms of a starting episode and just getting the groove. Surprising that we didn't have to work on the groove too much, which is great, I feel. I think that says a lot in terms of like the group chemistry. We'll definitely be bringing on some guests in the future. That's the plan, to look into the music industry, gaming industry, the business industry, and so on and so on. That's what we're mostly familiar with, respectively. And yeah, we're about to reach the 140 mark. So again, Happy New Year to everyone. Hopefully everyone gets their New Year's resolution done, or they try to. Or if you don't have any New Year's resolution, just live a good life. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends. Make good friends. Yes, we'll do this. And yeah, I think that's it. All
right, good job, guys.
Yeah, good job, guys. Yeah. This has been the C.W.H podcast. That is the Coping Wankers Hideout. And we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Wankers out.
Wankers out.
Wankers out.
You're not gonna make
Oh,
that
Jesus.
thing. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. That is it. Okay.
Oh, man.
We'll see you guys next time.